Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, then let's kick it off. Commentators, over to you.
And it's all kicking off.
And it's on.
Arriving at
Watchpoint Gibraltar. Interesting map. Let's see how this goes. Not many people spawning here yet.
Having a quick choice over what they want to pick.
So you see so you see a Widow on defense. It's going to be interesting. Also a Widow
on both sides right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be Pick City right now.
Yeah. Looks
We're
like
looking at the... I was going to say, we're looking at Orisa as well.
I wonder how long they knew this it was going to be this map though, because they're still trying to make up their minds about setups.
Yeah.
Okay, see the defense team moving in. Oh. Taking up position on the high ground as expected. See people on attack, still just cruising, not making a real attack formation yet.
Yeah, right now I'm interested to see how attack's going to work out, considering they're lacking in terms of frontline tank. So they've only got the Orisa to run, which could hurt them considering it's very immobile. But also on defense, we've got one pick missing right now, which doesn't help. But also triple tank with one healer. So
yeah,
this is going to be interesting. Right, we've got the Zen's coming in now, but that's still quite a lack of healing.
And also, it's not a lot of DPS on defense, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to see them taking the triple tank, just going to soak up as much damage as they can, but
yeah,
it's interesting to see how it'll play out.
Let's see how this goes.
Oh, that's a big pick. That is a big pick early.
First blood, yeah.
And already they're losing a lot of DPS right now.
Yeah.
It's missing that soldier, they're dropping down. I mean, they've got the Zen for the Discord orb, but still with triple tank you're lacking in terms of damage.
The soldier is really their only DPS, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's a decent hook.
There that goes. Gummibear's going low on health there.
And that's another big pick.
Yeah, that's mercy.
Yeah, they're slowly getting burned down. There's very little they can do to sort of get on the payload right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're...
Oh, that's a big pick though.
They're losing a lot of
that's
ground
two
here.
big picks.
Let's see how this is going from the other side.
Defenses, we've got a flanking Anna on attack, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't turn out so great for Avorim there, but it was worth a shot.
It was a cheeky move. So.
It was a cheeky move. I think you could tell he's trying to land the sleep behind on the Rhine, but turned around just in time to block that, and then he's so out of position from his team that he's just going to get melted.
So they're probably thinking of which way to go or regrouping on the background.
Yeah. So we all notice primarily with the Orisa on attack and lacking in terms of other kind of shielding tanks is once they lose that momentum, it's going to be quite hard for them to set back up because they've got that lack of mobility. So the Hog's kind of free to flank here. Defense is free to do kind of what they want with positioning. That's Spheneer's going ham right now, like getting all the picks they need.
Who's here? Who's soldier shooting at?
Yeah, we got the D.Va. Okay, so the D.Va's mate down. In trouble there. I think Boxy is probably going to die. Yep, Boxy goes down. Okay, so the defense is just slowly being whittled down. There's some big hooks coming out though. You see Azure's okay, that's the beat drop coming in. Azure's, oh, he's in. He has shield though. He may struggle to get much done here. Except Mercy's exposed. And she goes down there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna get some meters here. They're probably gonna try to push it on to points.
Yeah. Okay, so Ryan goes down. They're probably gonna lose the point here because they're slowly staggering in. They've got some ults coming out potentially, but they're so staggered. The Widow's behind him and everything. It's just either on point right now. Yep, that's the point down.
Yeah. Oh, not yet.
It's two big picks. It won't be enough.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
Okay, so first point is gone.
And now, interestingly, you'll see that defense is actually in real trouble now. They're missing. They're coming out, but it's away from their new spawn. So as soon as they die, they're going to be staggered back quite a lot here. It's really aggressive play. It'll last for a while, but I don't think it's a sustainable plan.
Yeah, I must say they are really playing well together now. They're forming real front, both on defense and attack as well.
They've got quite. Yep, there it is. Okay, so think it's blocked by the Orisa shield there. They've got quite a few ults on both sides, so it'll be interesting to see which way this goes.
Yeah,
so the big ones, yeah, the big ones coming out right now are res. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes down.
Oh, yeah,
they're missing their beat drop, and there's the nano boost. Right now, this is a really strong combo, but it's going to be eaten by defense matrix if they're not careful. It's a solid ult coming in. Yep, there's the soldier ult. Really good positioning. Ooh, bit late there. Alright, that's unfortunate. That's a big loss of a soldier out there.
Defense is still holding at this point.
Question is for how long they can maintain this. They've got their res, which is strong for the next fight, but they just used a lot of ults there. As soon as the attacking team really get a strong, like, aggressive push here, and if they can get that res or get the mercy, defense is going to be in real trouble.
Yeah, they're going high ground here. Let's see how this works. It's an interesting tactic though.
Yeah.
You don't see that too much in normal competitive or quick game.
I mean, that's a solid pick, but you can sort of see to a certain extent how they're really struggling to push through that choke on attack, given the fact that they don't really have that mobile shield. So going the high ground is actually really strong because they're getting that flanking maneuver, sort of a free pass in. Yep. Now they've got the res potentially coming out here.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if she goes through. Yep. Okay, we're in. They're really split from their team though. So
the attack is moving quickly. They have to make a stance here on defense. Around the corner, or they're going to lose that second point.
Nive's so split from the team here. It's probably going down. He's getting picked in the back line. Okay, so that's the down attack. It looks like defense could potentially turn this around here.
Yeah.
Sort of going either way right now.
Yeah, Spanner's trying to pick the mercy, I think.
Okay, so we've got a swap to Winston on defense. So Nive switched off the Hog on Winston, presumably to try and jump on that Widow.
Yeah. That's a smart move though.
I mean, looking at the enemy team, they don't really have much that can really shut down Winston here. Like, they've got the Orisa potentially, and the soldier, but I don't really see them being able to do much against him here. Yeah. It's a big hold coming out, but that's a strong bubble as well. The attack's sort of getting split up here. They should probably look for a regroup.
Yeah. Defense shouldn't
notice, yeah.
They mustn't overreach because they might get
notice how Avorim and Azure are very split from their team. I think it's unlikely that the soldier ult's really going to get much here. And it looks like a counter ult's going to come in. Yeah. And that's a cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're sitting on a potential D.Va ult here that's just been taken out there.
Let's take it up here.
Yep. Okay, so they've got the Orisa ult coming in, which is going to be really strong for their attacking push. But defense have a lot of ults as well. Especially considering that they only have that Orisa shield. That Rhino ult's going to hit them hard every time. They've got one last push here. They're going to have to make it hard, but they're really staggered.
Sorry guys, I'm struggling with these motion controls.
Okay, so Nanabu's coming in with the Orisa buff. But there's the Rhino! There is the Rhino! That's a very strong ult. Notice how they've just got nothing to block the Rhino.
Yeah.
There's very little they can do against it. And Winston's just cleaning house here.
I noticed.
Yep, that's a very strong hold there. Very strong hold.
It's gone.
And they
First one. Yeah. So
with a res to spare.
Yeah. So defense started out a little troublesome, but they really managed to pull their stuff together before the second point. That was quite interesting to see, really.
Yeah, I think a lot of it sort of hangs on the Orisa pick. It wasn't a bad pick initially because of the fact that they automatically have that momentum coming out of attacking spawn since defense are set up so far back. But the issue is as soon as they start having to push through the big chokes there, like once their spawns move up, they have a real difficulty getting through because they have that lack of mobility. So you notice without the Rhine Shield, they've got nothing to block the Earth Shatter, and also it's really hard for them to make an aggressive push because they're so static in their composition. They've got things like Widow, they've got things like Orisa. It's good for getting those quick picks, which they really did early on, which really helped, but as soon as those picks stopped coming in, they lost all their momentum and really struggled to pick it back up.
Yeah, I'm getting a feeling it would have helped if they had switched a bit to go more like a dive comp or something.
Yes, a dive comp would have been good, and also just packing on a slightly more damage. Considering they're running the triple tank there, notice how they really struggled to burst it down with the composition they were running. So I think it'd be interesting to take a little bit more damage and just generally perhaps take a Ryan, take a Winston, just something that keeps them rolling and really allows them to get in. Because what you noticed is a lot of the times they really struggled to make use of things such as their nano boost, because D.Va was shutting it down, but also their team was so split just because of the nature of what they were running.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're seeing. All right, so we've got the Widow on defense here. We've got the Mercy coming in as well. It's a generally really strong composition all round, and interesting that they're also running that Symmetra. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do with that.
I'm really interested in seeing what this Symmetra will do.
Now on attack, we've got quite an interesting comp because we've got the triple tank coming up, but it's sort of like a mix. So we've got the D.Va and the Winston for dive, but we've also got the Ryan and Soldier and Mercy, which are sort of a lot more defensive and static.
Yeah, I am feeling pretty positive about the blue team now.
Yeah. Okay, so Spheneer's coming in
for here on this side, yeah.
Yep.
See.
So a lot of their composition seems to be focused on Spheneer, who's going to be getting those picks for them.
Oh yeah, yeah. You see the D.Va and Winston.
There it is.
Yeah.
But the team's being cleaned up in the background, mainly due to quite bad positioning. They didn't take that high ground right off the start, and that really punished them because of how aggressive the dive comp sort of is, or that hybrid dive comp. There's really nowhere they can back up to. And they're getting cleaned up very early here.
Symmetra's trying her best here to stay alive, but she's going down. Yeah.
The Symmetra pick could hurt them especially. Since they've been pushed so hard, there's no chance to set up a TP.
Yeah. Okay.
And their positioning is so strong here, they're just able to command it really efficiently. And Zen's getting split.
They're not going
to go down. Yep.
Yeah, they're not going to hold this first point.
And the point's in already. And Ryan's so split from the team. Azure's probably, getting cleaned up here. Hog's going to go down too, potentially. There he goes. Mercy's trying to back up as best he can, but could struggle here. With the Winston on you 24/7, there's very little you can do.
You see the Symmetra now has her ultimate, but it's too late in the game, I think. You only have to cover a few meters to get to this point.
Yeah, they're so close to the point here. They've just got to dive in and make do with what they have. But notice how they have very little in terms of ults. They've blown their Ana ult. They're not going to have a Ryan ult in time.
No, also they have generally slow characters on defense here, so
and just look at the amount of ults we have on attack. We've got the Ryan ult to go, we've got the Mercy res to go if all things go wrong. And you see that's a big hammer coming in. But the question is, if they can't get the Mercy, they're going to be looking for a res here. And here it comes. There it is, big. And now they're probably going to look for a Ryan ult of their own. There it is. Azure's completely split. Orisa's going down, and that's going to be the first map.
This match is gone. Yeah.
Very cleanly done, very clean.
Very quick one.
Didn't
expect it to go this quickly. So now it's 1-0 in games for Team Magikarp. And we're just gonna see how the second map plays out. If it's 2-0, they win the game. So I'm not sure it's going to be. It's probably not going to be King's Row though. Last time it also switched when they went in game. So I'm not sure if there's a long break now. Probably a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so it was really interesting to see on that map especially. A lot of tanks coming out, which you generally don't see often now. Pretty much triple tank across the board, and it's interesting to see how much the sort of different compositions fed into each other to a certain extent. We noticed how on first round the attack sort of very much fell down as soon as they lost that momentum, but second round the attackers were really able to keep up and play aggressive just because they had the Winston, they had the Ryan with his portable shield, they had that way to just play aggressive and just keep pushing in. And it was really well played.
Yeah, I really think the Winston and the D.Va combination made them very mobile, and it helped them to capture quickly.
Yeah, especially effective considering they were running that sim and they were playing so far up. They just had nowhere to back up to out of the start. They come in aggressive, the sim goes down, the team goes down. Very little they can do after that. They can't really set up. The first point's gone. And again, after that, there's very little they could do in terms of ults. They were down in terms of ultimates compared to the other team and just generally couldn't really get much done after that.
So it's interesting how the teams are going to react to this, because Avorim's team is going to probably try to do things differently. Also, depends on the map type, I guess, which they will get now. Really interested. I kind of hope it's a King of the Hill map.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to adapt their strats for that.
Yeah. Let's see. Which player did you think was the most valuable last match?
Well, personally, I was really liking No Heals for You. especially. Just playing that Winston, getting up, getting aggressive. Generally all round, it was very hard to pick out sort of an individual player considering how strong like the teams were. They were playing very well together, and just generally it felt like a really strong sort of communal attack. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem as you. Didn't really notice any player really standing out. Did notice Winston was on fire a lot, so he
personally for me, I'd say for C-1-37, Spheneer was especially effective, especially at the start, getting those picks. I feel like in terms of their composition, to a certain extent, it certainly relied on those Widow picks. And then you notice how as soon as they start losing those Widow picks, due to the team changing up, due to Fish Army getting that Winston, playing aggressive, shutting him down, there's a lot less that they could do after that.
Yeah. I played loads of games with Spanner before, and he's especially good, I think, with Soldier and McCree and stuff like that. Hit scan. And I think it would have been a good idea to switch out the Widow after first point. It would have really helped them, I think.
So I'm interested to see how this map's going to run, because it's got that first point coming out. So it's payload also, but you've got that hybrid system. So this first map, a lot more in terms of capturing it and defense and things like that. A lot more static as well. So it'd be interesting to see if this plays in a lot better to C-1-37 when they're trying to hold this, because they certainly felt as though they were playing that sort of static composition a lot more strongly. It certainly felt like that's what they were gravitating towards, and that hurt them on attack to a certain extent. But I'd be interested to see how this one goes.
Yeah, let's see this.
Okay, so on attack we're running... Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
It's alright. I want to start with the defense team. So we're looking at two healers, Zenyatta and Anna, combined with the Symmetra, so there's a lot of support here.
Yeah, triple support.
Yeah, so triple support. There's also two tanks, Roadhog and Reinhardt, which is pretty much an obligatory pick here with the choke.
Especially with the fact that they're running a Bastion as well.
Yeah, of course. So they're pretty much relying on the Bastion here. So this is a pretty much win it all or lose it all combination, I think. If the Bastion dies, they were in really big shit.
Yes. So they're running the Bastion, they're running the Symmetra, they've got triple support. It's very much a long haul comp. If they get dived heavily here, they're going to really struggle. But if they can maintain the first push, if they can hold out, they're going to have a good chance of setting up for the long term.
Yeah.
But notice how on the attack we've already got the Tracer coming out, we've got the Winston, we've got the Diva, very heavy triple tank and a very heavy dive comp. We've got the Widow to pick off the Bastion as well. So this is an unfortunate lineup to be running against what they've got on attack. What they'll be looking to do is pick off that Bastion, pick up the Winston early when he dives in. Yeah. Unless he has a Diva pocketing him.
Yes.
But it'd be interesting to see how this goes.
Tracer's trying to flank him here. I think it's interesting how they start defending on the point, not on the choke.
Yeah.
That's
there's very little they can do to set up on the choke with that Bastion there. They've just got to pocket him 24/7.
I'm not sure. I would have set him up to the side of the choke and just try to run it from there. Oh, here, Tracer was trying to shoot.
And the Bastion's down already.
Yeah.
They could potentially turn this around, but Ryan's down too. Hog's in the middle of it. He's probably going down. The Sim's not going to have much to set up, and that is down already.
Yeah, it's gone.
And the Pulse Bomb's coming in really early.
Yeah, okay. Bastion switch over to Soldier, I see. They do have a teleport.
Right, they could potentially turn this around, but they're coming in so staggered. I think it's definitely going down.
This is not
strong shatter, but there's no one there to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I noticed.
And this is going to be the point down. Notice how no one came through the left side, so Symmetra could do absolutely nothing with those turrets set up.
Yeah.
It could have gone a lot differently if Tracer tried to push him through the left side and just been melted by the car wash, but unfortunate.
Yeah, Tracer flanked over the high side, so she ended up shooting Bastion in the back. Very
sensible. I mean, it would be a bad idea for Tracer to push him through left side anyway, so she made the right decision there. Yeah. Notice how they're still running the Symmetra, not swapping off it yet, which could potentially hurt them here, because of how much momentum the attacking team have.
Let's see, they're still on the...
Pushing in front of their Ryan. If they go for an early pick here, they may be in trouble. Oh, that is a huge pulse bomb. That is very big.
That was good.
Both supports down, frontline DPS. If they're careful, they can actually just use this momentum to clean up the second point for free.
They're pretty much there, aren't they? Just waiting for the
Nive's just going ham right now, just cleaning everyone.
Yeah, it's a very strong Tracer play.
You can just see how they're able to just plop that Bastion on point and just nothing can be done. Cannot move it off at all. We've got 4 ults, we've got a res, we've got a Rhine ult, got a Diva bomb. Chaser's down. GG.
Yeah.
They've got the res coming in if they need it. Okay. If they can clear the Bastion off there, this could very much turn around.
Okay, the fight is now on the corner, I think.
Alright, they're backing up a lot. Bastion's moved off the payload. Alright, so in terms of the defending team, what they're going to want to do now is just keep that Bastion off payload. If they can play aggressive, if they can stop them from setting back up, very little they can do. Okay, so we've got lots of ults on both sides. They're probably... Right, defense is going to be looking for a shadow, but attack is also. It's going to very much come down to whose shield drops first. The soldier going down, this could very much turn into attacking skill.
I see base switch out for Pharah. That's an interesting...
Okay. Oh, the Rhine's sleeping. Probably looking for a shadow here. Up.
Okay, all swapping everywhere. See on defense. Yeah, we see the Hawk using his ult.
We still have res though.
Yeah. They're still pushing.
Still have res, and there it is. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Attack's just not losing its momentum here. Now they are down 1 player. Right, we've got a Reaper coming in, which could turn around this fight in close quarters, but that's big. Alright, that looks like attack's team point already.
Yeah, they cleaned it up. Yeah, this is going down.
Pretty much tank spot.
Yeah, round is gone. Magikarp showing really strong team play here.
Score 0-3.
The interesting part is the Bastion on payload method didn't really get much done because everyone's dead. There was no one for Bastion to clean up.
it did divert their attention away from the Tracer, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you could just sort of tell when they're playing on attack. They've got this Bastion on payload. They've got this sort of dominance pushing through, just a massive death ball just coming through, and there's very little they can do to push it. With their Rhine and their Hog, they're just going to get melted in terms of defense. And obviously it's distracting attention away from Nive on Tracer, pushing in backline and just getting those picks.
Okay, so now on the attacking team we see Hanzo, which is interesting, I think.
Potentially just looking to get a sonar off at the start, but we'll see if he keeps it up.
So we also have a Zarya, which is kind of special, I think. There are not many Zaryas in the tournament.
Good. Yeah, I imagine we're looking for the Zarya Hanzo combo, but notice how we actually we have the Zen on defense and we have the Mercy on defense. Could be a very hard counter to that if they mistime it. The fact that they're not running an Ana is also going to make things very difficult. The problem with the Zarya Hanzo combo is that if you've got a Zen on defense, if you've got a Mercy on defense, and that Zen throws his ult down, you know, and he'll look to do that, he'll look to get in the Grav Surge, it's completely useless, and that's 2 ults you've just wasted there. Especially, we also have Diva on defense, so she's going to be looking to eat that, and it's very easy for the Divas to read it, as we've already seen this tournament.
I also noticed they have a Mei on defense, which I think is a very strong pick on this map. Well, ever since her ult time got a little bit nerfed, it doesn't tick as quickly. But I think it's still a very strong pick here.
Yeah. So the Sonar's coming in early. They're gonna actually see what they've got. So it's unlikely that Mei's gonna really wall anyone here since they know they have a Mei. What I imagine what they'll look to do is bubble Diva, come in, bait the wall out, and get out of there, or at the very least come in and sort of get some early picks, get some damage on.
I do notice they lack a bit DPS on defense here. I wonder how they'll do.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, they're almost running quadruple tank with the Mei coming in. Debatable as to whether or not she takes the tank role, but... Alright, so Zen's going down early, which is a big pick. Their team saw that they're trying to flank in top right, but they're getting taken out in the back line here.
Yeah.
And they're very split here. They should probably be looking to reset. Otherwise, they're losing precious seconds. So Zarya's going to go down on the point. Diva's also going to go down. If they can catch him. And Mei's just free to split off here. Actually, this is interesting. Okay, so attack's actually sort of getting work done on the point, but they're not really on the Mei.
Nobody's killing the Mercy. Oh, they're
Mei's trying her best to clean up the Lucio. Very split from her team. Could go down here, but back to safety with the Diva. But Bananakin's just clearing up on point here, and unfortunate. Just leaving the Zarya with high energy. Big mistake. Okay, attack should certainly be looking to reset here. Wasting precious seconds if they're otherwise. Diva's in deep on defense. Okay, so that's gonna be a full reset on attack. Fresh start. Couple of ultis built up. There's a large discrepancy with the Zarya and the Hanzo ult, which could hurt them badly. And we've already got a Zen ult built in defense.
On defense, there's also Res ready. So.
Yep. Yep. Both strong support ults. Oh, that is a big early pick. They should be looking to push off that. That's a very strong early pick.
Yeah, if they don't move forward now, the Mei's just gonna run back, so they should push. But let's see if they can.
Now, they're not gonna have that res set on the Mei, which is interesting. We got Soldier coming back from spawn. Diva's mech's down, but Hog's very much out of position. Split from Mercy here. We got Mercy and Hog sort of away from the point, split from their team. If attack can capitalize on this, this could be strong. They should be looking to get the Mercy right now and get rid of that res. Okay, so the Zen ult's out. Big hammers down though. And defense are feeling pretty comfortable with their ults here. Flanking Hog coming in. Okay, right, that's interesting. Okay, so the Zen ult's down, and they've got the Zarya ult here. They could be looking to make quite big news off this. If they can catch the Mercy as well, even in the Grav Surge, attack could really turn this one around. But unfortunately, they've used the Hanzo ult, so they've got no combo there.
It's going to be very hard for them to take the point now with the res ready and just 1 minute on the clock.
We've got some big ults on attack though. Yeah, we've got the Lucio ult ready. Oh, that's bad timing. Very split now. The Lucio ult's come down, but they can't really push off it because they've just lost Zen. Soldier's looking for a flank here. See if Avorim can take him out. Go Avorim! Oh no!
Yeah, Avorim's down.
Nive just cleaning house here. Taking people out with the hook.
The enemy is here.
Both divas shot next. Something's wrong here. Are you also having a lag, Magikarp?
That reset. 15 seconds. Alright, they're looking for a grav. It's a big grav. Mercy's not in though. They've got nothing for the Zen ult. And Zen is down again.
It seems my connection is lost. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can. Don't worry, I've got you covered here. Desperate Hanzo ult. It gets the Mercy. Unfortunately, not quite enough, but it was a valiant attempt. And there we are. Return of tank meta.
Oh. Is this point still standing or is it gone?
Nope, it's down. Okay. Dominant victory right there.
Let's see if I can still join. So it's gone. Well played.
That's very strong res here. Just deciding that point cap.
So is it still on? Is the match still on? Because I'm got thrown out of the game.
It's long gone. you missed the greatest Hanzo ult of all time.
Okay.
Desperate Hanzo ult on point catching the Mercy.
That's too bad for the recording though. So about the second round, I really think Tracer should get some. Who was it? Navis? What was the name of the player? Nive. Yeah, Nive really.
Oh, just absolutely. Trace. The Tracer on attack was huge, and the Hog on defense was amazing.
Absolutely. Okay.
Just constantly getting the Zen, shutting them down.
Let's see. All right.